I already see a big problem. Those left and right axles are they're on the wrong side. That axle. You guys, welcome back to my channel. It is a beautiful, beautiful day in Canada today. As always, every day is... What is this? It's like minus something out here. It is cold. It's minus 52. No, we're not doing this outside. We're gonna go inside. All right, we'll come back to this. Hold on a second here. Well, I waited till it warmed up a little bit to show you guys. So, I don't know. I wasn't going to show you the car, but it's a super clean car. Chris has taken immaculate care of this thing. So I present to you the 2J, no, wait, let me try it again. The 2G Talon. Now for those that don't know, the Talon and the Eclipse were very similar cars in a lot of ways. I prefer the Talon. I like the big wing on the back. A lot of guys do a delete on there. Not me, I like it. But this is it. So I'm gonna show you around the car and then we're gonna go inside because it is really cold out here. So we have ourselves a wonderful Talon on some 18-inch wheels, but here's the cool part. Look how clean this car is, how clean Chris has kept this car. This car, it's got the rare confetti seats in it. It's got a back seat full of parts. Look how many parts we have to put in this car still. There's the turbo, there's the manifold, there's, I don't even know where that pipe goes. I saw an intercooler in here somewhere. I think it was in the back. We'll go over there in a minute. But look at the dash. These things are notorious for cracking. The dash looks good. The key's in it, nobody's stealing it. The engine's not in it. Door cards all look good. This thing is cherry. Look at that, 100,000 kilometers on it. I don't know if that's original, if the odometer's been changed, but look at this. She's looking good, boys. All right, let's pop the hood.
Hey, pop the hood.
Pop the hood?
Pop the hood.
I'd say 2JZ, no shit, but we don't have any JZ. The long axle always goes on the passenger side. That axle belongs over there. And we've got all of our wiring tucked away here. This is an AC car, cool. More bolts to figure out, or a missing bolt. They're all there except for that one. Looks like we got a free dog leash. I don't own a dog, but yeah, we've got power steering pump there, which is funny. I thought there was a power steering pump on the engine. We need to make a carbon fiber hood for Chris. This hood is heavy, holy smokes. That's a workout all in itself. Let's go inside and see what we got inside. Despite what's happening outside right now, this is the mess we have inside. So aside from the car full of parts, and I don't know why I take on these jobs. Maybe it's because I don't have a job and I was just like, hey, I miss working on stuff and maybe put carbon fiber on the back burner, but I don't know, let me show you. Okay, in Steve's corner of mess, aside from my recycle pile there, we have, thanks to Chris, no shortage of bolts. Like we have all kinds of stuff. Now, what's a little concerning, and I haven't even looked in here and I already see a problem. I don't know if you guys see the problem, but let me point it out to you. We have one CV axle nut, another CV axle. I don't know if that's a CV axle nut, but it's definitely a castle nut. Oh, look, another castle nut and another castle nut. And another castle nut. Oh, look, another castle nut, which tells me we have random bolts, not bolts just from that car. So this is going to be an issue. Let's get into it here. Over here we have, there's the clutch, there's the flywheel that needs to be machined still. There's the pressure plate. Here's the engine, the alternator is mounted on it. The exhaust manifold is not on it. Actually, there's nothing on it. The turbo's not on it, nothing. Now, something worth noting here, like I'm not familiar with these cars at all. I mean, I've owned a couple of them, but I've never gone this deep into DSM, 2G, whatever you want to call it, car. However, for the most part, if you've worked on cars and have any kind of experience, they're all relatively similar-ish, you know, to a certain extent. Bell housing bolts kind of look the same. Manifold nuts kind of look the same, and I'm going to show you guys that right now. All right, let's get into it. What do we got here? So we've got our castle nut pile. This looks like a CV axle nut. See, it's got the big flange on it and the big nut and fine thread. I'm going to guess that's CV axle. And so my plan is to sort through this and see what I can figure out. So let's do that. Okay, because organization is your best friend in any engine swap scenario, never mind something like this. What I've done is any of the bolts that are the same, I've put them in baggies. So we know those are flywheel bolts. That's a good start. We don't know what that is, but we'll figure it out. And we'll figure it out, and we'll figure it out. We still have the box of mystery bolts, which there's no short of there. Pretty sure that is a CB axle bolt. Man, this looks like a ball joint bolt or like something with a cotter pin that would run through there. Fine thread CB axle maybe, but there is, I don't even know how many are here. 5 of them there. Pretty sure the car doesn't have 5 CB axles. Going over here, I'm gonna take this flywheel to get cut. It needs to be machined. As you can see, it's pretty rough. So we're gonna get the flywheel cut, get the pressure plate bolts in, which now I realize that's what those are for, is the pressure plate bolts. Get the flywheel bolted to the engine. We're gonna go up there in a second and get this bolted on. We'll put the transfer case in last. All right, moving up here, taking a look at the engine. So we have the motor mount on here. I did find the 2 nuts that go on the motor mount. On the upper, we still have to find the other mount, which I think was in the back of the car when we were over there. This engine's been rebuilt, so the timing belt should be good on it. We do run into a few issues up here. We got vacuum lines and harnesses, and I don't know where anything goes. We're gonna figure that out. We are missing the 4-bolt to tube piece that goes on the throttle body. I only know about that because my other car that I had, the Fast and the Furious one, had a crack in it, so I know that's there. Looks like that throttle position sensor might be broken there. I did notice the speed sensor down there is broken. Fuel pressure regulator is not here at all. Hopefully it's in the car. If not, I'll have to get one from Chris. Block heaters here. What else? We have the turbo in the car. So now what my plan is here is to assemble as much as I can on the floor and then move it into the car. Now we can lower this into the car or drop the car on top of it. And I think that's the approach I'm gonna take, is lowering the car onto it and then using a jack and jacking this up. No particular reason, it's just what I kind of prefer sometimes. Some of you are probably knocking me for even working on the floor, not working on a bench over there. I actually like working on the floor. There's more space and it's comfortable. I just sit there with my legs crossed, as you saw, and do my thing. I still question what I've committed to here. What a mess. All right, so here's what I've kind of got, guys. I wasn't gonna film the whole thing and bore you to death, but as you can see over here, I've got any bolts that are the same, I've bagged together. Those are obviously flywheel bolts. That's a pretty easy one, but you can see they're all the same. And then what I've got over here is again the same. Now you gotta be careful when you're doing this. See, these bolts are all the same. They have the same head, they have the same flange, and then see how they have no threads here? Like they go into a housing of some sort, and then they're threaded, right? But then you look at over here. So these bolts look like this, right? But notice there's a slight difference. This one's about 1/4 inch longer than this one. And then you go over here and see how these all look the same. You gotta be careful though. See how it's actually got that notch missing out of it? And this one also has a notch missing out of it. Same size head, it's got a lock washer and a flat washer. However, this flat washer is considerably bigger than these flat washers. So although similar, it's different. I have these ones over here. These ones over here are all the same. These ones over here are the same. Now there was one that I was looking at, I don't remember where. See, now these ones over here, they have lock washer, same flange area, same threads. These are the same. This one at a glance looks the same, but when you look close, it doesn't have a spinning lock washer on it. And it is just slightly about 3 threads longer, maybe 1/16 of an inch, right? Now it's funny, when you start going through here and looking at things, you start to notice a few things in this pile. Like, I don't even know where that goes, but I'm sure we'll figure that out. But there was a few funny ones. I'm just looking for them now. Well, here's an example. This is obviously not an OE bolt. This has nothing to do with this project at all. And there's a few like that. Here's an example. This is not anything that belongs to this because it has a weird, well, maybe, but I'm gonna guess not. And it's also rusted to shit anyway. There's that one. There was a really weird one I was looking for. I was gonna show you guys, but I don't know where it is. Here's another one. Here's another one. These are obviously not an OEM bolt. These are aftermarket of some sort. Nonetheless, we're getting it sorted out here, and then we're gonna get everything together. These could be, maybe, could that be a pressure plate bolt? These though, definitely look like a pressure plate bolt, don't they? Come on, baby. This is harder than my left hand. Oh, that thread's in there, nice. So we'll check online to confirm, but I'm gonna guess those are pressure plate bolts. The only thing that kind of throws me off is we need 2, 4, 6 pressure plate bolts. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 pressure plate bolts. Once we have these all kind of together, we're gonna have to spend some time online looking at where some of these go. See, this one has the spinning lock washer, it has the flange area, and it is the same length as those ones. But see, this one's, it looks the same, but it's a little bit shorter. So there's that. All right, so update, if you didn't notice, obviously I put it on the floor. It just makes it easier for me to work on. Well, obviously I can't put the clutch on when it's on there, so put it on here. I've got the exhaust manifold on now. Got to get the turbo on still. There's a turbo drain all the way into the pan, already into the pan there, so I got to take that one off. Probably leave that one on so I don't disturb it. Clutch is on. Yeah, I haven't done much over here. Now, in the box of randomness, we have still the box of bolts. We don't know where they go. I found this bracket. I'm not sure where it goes. It kind of looks AC compressor related. It is very heavy though, so it'll bolt the block somewhere. We have that mount over there. I don't know where that one goes yet. We'll figure it out. We have another exhaust bolt or exhaust manifold piece. I feel like this is a turbo downpipe just because it looks like there's a wastegate and exhaust there. This definitely looks aftermarket, but definitely charged side of the turbo system. Over here we've got our blow-off valve slash recirc valve, which is funny, it's actually in good shape. Usually they're broken because they're made of plastic. We got our starter, some charge pipes still, some rad pipes that we're a long ways from needing. So we're moving along anyway. Figuring out where things go and getting there one step at a time. All right guys, we're back and we're freezing cold. We're gonna do a quick montage on this thing on our way out. I wanna see you guys on the next one when we put this car together. Are different lengths, maybe not. Different lengths. However, this looks like a flywheel bolt. And the reason I say that is, oh, it fits perfect. The reason I say it's a flywheel bolt, fine thread, locking nut, and see how short the head is on here compared to your standard one. See how it's got a flange on it? So that looks like a flywheel bolt. So if we can round up some of those, let's see, we got one there. How many do we need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What? 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, yeah, 7. All right. So we got one. That might be one. It looks like one, but it's a different length. So we're going to come back to that. I don't know what these are. You know what these look like? These look like under the hood, the top of a strut. That's what they look like. These look like, in a weird way, an engine mount or a bell housing bolt, like in here, which it fits perfectly. However, it's got this giant washer on it. Maybe somebody just put those on there. One's upside down and the other's not, so I'm not sure. But they do match, so we're gonna put those over here. You guys remember the song when you were a kid, the left bone's connected to the right bone? That's what I feel like right now. So here's another, what looks like a flywheel bolt. Now that's longer like that one's longer like that one. Here's a shorter one. These look like hood adjustments that go under the hood. These look like upper rad mounts, maybe. I'll put those over here. You know what we need? We need some baggies to organize this. I'm gonna have to get some baggies. This looks like another bell housing bolt, like in here. That one's dead end. In here, no, see, it's too big. Or it could be a motor mount bolt. Man, it could be anything. This is every mechanic's worst nightmare, is putting together someone else's mess. You know, I remember when I started being a mechanic, and I just started in the truck and trailer industry, and the one guy, Curtis Denis was his name, and that looks like an alternator adjuster. Oh yeah, look at that, it's right there. See, this is a pile of random stuff because we already have that. That looks like an alternator adjuster. So this guy, Curtis Denis, he gets a truck in and somebody else has taken it apart, and what he's got to work with is literally what I'm looking at here. He had milk crates of, oh boy, you know what? I just found something. He had milk crates of parts and boxes of parts on an engine somebody had taken apart and didn't know how to put back together. And he was upset, and I couldn't figure out why. Well, now I know. These are the flywheel bolts. Let me show you. See this one? See how high that head is? If you put that on the flywheel, it's gonna interfere with stuff. That's a flywheel bolt. See how short it is? It's fine thread. It still has a lock washer on it, but see the difference in height? That's what we're looking for. So we're gonna put this over here. You know what, I bet, let me stand up here. I bet if I go over here, I can reach my hand around here in the 7 bolt. No, I don't think I can get my hand in there. Oh, maybe over here. Yeah, and it threads in perfectly. So we know that that's a flywheel bolt, and we need 7. So we got 2, 4, 6, there's one more somewhere, hopefully. This looks like another, perhaps bell housing bolts, but I'm leaning more towards these being motor mount bolts. Like in here for trans mount, motor mount. There's a motor mount, which it fits perfectly in. Something like that. Oh man. Look at, we got these 2 different bolts here. What else do we have here? This one matches this one, right? Look at, we got another adjuster. This is totally, Chris, Guy, these are just random parts you got here, these bolts. These don't even all go to the car. Well, where's the bolts from the car? That's what I want to know. Man, oh man, oh man.